So let's talk about JT Realmuto and his ejection. Basically the most stupid ejection I've ever seen in my life. He basically put his hand out, his glove out, for the baseball, but he wasn't looking at the ump. He realizes his pitcher has the ball. He puts it down and he gets ejected.
Says, I don't like that call. Now here's the action right here. And the umpire felt like...
And you can see the umpire says, "You're done. It's over. Stop playing games." And JT, you can see, he takes off his mask. He cannot believe it.
Like Realmuto took his glove out of the way, and I think Realmuto didn't sense that the ball was on its way, so he just figured the umpire was throwing it back.
And you could see, basically, JT Realmuto basically saying, "You gotta be kidding me. I'm just trying to get the ball from my pitcher." And he didn't realize that his pitcher already had the ball. But the ump didn't know that he's not looking at him, so he's not even looking at him, and he just puts the glove away. And we don't know what happened before, but I think what happened is that he argued a strike when it was a ball, and he was not happy, so the next play he needed the ball, and he wanted to pull his glove away. The ump thought he was pulling his glove away for a little practical joke. And in my eyes, that's not what happened. I want to see what you guys think. Was he in the wrong? Was the umpire in the wrong to throw him out? Or was this justified? My eyes, no. No one should get thrown out for that. Monday was yesterday, Thursday, March 30th, and some interesting things happened. But the one thing that caught my eye was this. This was the first ever home run of opening day of 2023. And let me just say, of course, it's the home run king from last year, Aaron Juice Judge. And he just yokes one to deep center field, right on the net of a Yankees Hall of Fame. And if we go back, if we just slow it down a bit, in my eyes, I think the pitcher threw a curveball that just kind of hung out to dry a bit. It kind of didn't. I don't think the pitcher wanted that placement there, and Aaron Judge knew it, and he just yoked one to center. He destroyed that ball, or like the commentaries like to say, he tattooed it. What a first home run! I'm glad it wasn't a little left center, right center pull down the line. This was a dead center shot. And it was a nice one, too. So let's go to the scores from yesterday. And we had some interesting games. And some interesting scores that I didn't think that was going to happen. Honestly. So we could see that the Cubs, my Cubs, won 4-0. Marcus Stroman, 8 strikeouts, 0 ERA. The next score, of course, another hometown team, the White Sox. The White Sox won 3-2. And I believe that this was the first time the Astros since 2012 lost in a opening day game. And keep in mind, this was the Astros World Series opening day game where, they get the rings, they get the banner, the gold numbers on their jerseys. The Sox just outperformed them. And it shows, and this could mean that the Sox could potentially be a good contender in the American League. I mean, you got the Yankees, and I feel that the Yankees are just going to finally win and go to the World Series and finally win it since Jeter. And the other games was not surprising. The Braves win 7-2. Of course, the Yankees win 5-0 with that nice Aaron Judge home run. Orioles 10-9 in Fenway. Adley Rutschman with 5 hits. And there's a lot of people saying he's overrated. He's an overrated catcher. He's also an overrated player. But after hitting a home run to right, it was about right center, right in the bullpen area, and 5 hits. That's what you want to do when people are doubting you. Tigers, Rays, we knew Rays were going to win that. Tigers, they're not the same anymore. Let's talk about the Rangers and the Phillies. What a game. If you go to the games cast, 9-run 4th inning. 9 runs. That's unbelievable. I mean, when I was watching the game, they said this inning took 29 minutes. in the bottom of the fourth. 29 minutes. They also had to close the damn roof because of the fact that they were worried about weather. They had the roof open and they had to close it. But this was a wonderful game. And I feel that the games are going faster with this pitch clock stuff. We'll talk about that a little later. Next game, Twins-Royals. Looks like a boring game, 2-0. A lot of defense, barely scratching. I mean, 10 hits for the Twins. That was a fun game for them, but it was a boring game for the Royals because they could only get 2 hits. Mets-Marlins. The Mets were going to win that game regardless. This game, either way, they both are not that good, but 5-4. A nice home run by Cruz. The Reds, who's really watching the Reds versus Pittsburgh? Only Reds and Pittsburgh fans, really. I mean, let's be frank here. No one's watching that game. Then we go to the Blue Jays and the Cardinals. What a game. I mean, the Blue Jays need to perform. They have a team that's strong. They need to perform like they did. Good for a Cubs fan that the Cardinals lost. And then we got Rockies-Padres. This is an interesting one. 7-2. Blake Snell on the mound. And keep in mind, Blake Snell, if you guys don't know, he's an amazing pitcher. But he only threw 4 innings, 3 earned runs. I mean, it's good, but only 4 innings on your debut. And the Rockies were actually supposed to be one of the worst teams in the league. One of them, because they're technically rebuilding. They're not where they should be right now, as of right now. But this was the most surprising game. Angels Athletics. Showtime. 10 strikeouts on the Angels' season debut. Couldn't ask for more. But you got to produce off of that. If your pitcher's throwing gas, getting people out constantly, you got to help him out here. You got to get some runs for him so he doesn't feel as stressed on the mound, We're only putting 1 run in of 5 hits. You had a 1-0 game for 4 innings, 3 innings, and then all of a sudden Oakland comes back with two of their own. In my eyes, that if if the Angels do not start doing something right, you might have to say goodbye to Mike Trout because he wants to probably lead the team. If, he wants a ring. He wants to go to a team that's ready to win. He doesn't want any of this crap. Keep in mind, he probably loves playing in LA, but on the Angels, they got a team. They need to produce. Produce wins and get to the playoffs. And yes, the division is a bit up there. It's a little bit crazy, but got 162 games. You have to be a wild card at least. The Diamondbacks versus Dodgers. Everybody knew that they were going to win. We don't have to go into this game. Everybody knew. Strong team. Dodgers had the best record in the league last year, but couldn't win the World Series, but still one of the best. In the last game of yesterday, Mariners and Guardians. Guardians, they're always struggling. Even in 2016 when they were dominant, when they were the Cleveland Indians, they were dominant. But then they've, go 3-1 up, and then they just struggle. And what do you know? My Cubs win the World Series because of it. They still have the drought to win a World Series, the longest one, and they just can't catch a break, and they need to find something to start producing wins. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Peace.